Hello, my people. Um, I'm Kufan, also known as Baby Spike. First and foremost, my love and respects to the family. Um, Ironically, I had received this letter from Master Kody, and it's dated June 30th, 2018. I was very shocked to finally heard from him. After all, after getting out of prison, I finally made it out of prison. He was very much in communication with me all throughout my prison time. It's like my older homies here held me on the streets and raised me on the streets, but it was my G homies in the prison system that raised me to be a man. And Sanyika was one of them. Big Legs Diamonds was one of them. Crazy D was one of them. I can go on and on and on about all of them that embraced me. Matt Bone raised me from the streets as a kid out here. And much respect, man. You know what I mean? Good teachers. We had that. Kody was one. As my comrade alluded to, Baby Diamond, he came back from prison and he taught us a lot. He taught us a lot. So I don't want to take long, so I would just read what it is that I sat down and had to write out, because I didn't know what could I say about a monster. I met Master Kody in 1987, 2 years into my career as an H-Ray gangster. Upon the return from a California state prison, he was the most charismatic big homie that had returned to the set from prison. He taught us a lot of things about this gangbang stuff, speaking with us about strength and honor and comradeship, taking crews to shooting ranges to teach us about weaponry, teaching us hand-to-hand combat. He changed his style of dressing into combat gear, in berets, and even had a few you cats running around here in army fatigues. Master Kody really wanted to see H-Rays become more of an organization to be reckoned with. I remember how he had been in the pen hearing about me and the little homies of that generation. And although in his attempts to structure the community and unify the people and revolutionize the H-Ray label, at the same time he began his descent into the other side of his lifestyle addictions, and subsequently returned to prison. In the summer of 1989, while eating dinner with my mother in my mother's home, there was a knock at the door, and it was Little Monster, who was also a big homie at the time. So I thought, what did I do? What did I do now? But he was like, come out front, someone wants to meet you. Walking to the front of my mother's complex, there I met Leon Bean, who then handed me a letter that read Sanyika Shakur on the envelope. At the time, I didn't know about that part of him. She told me that it was Big Monster Kody, because I didn't know who I didn't know who that was. But so it was one of the proudest moments of my young career. The letter read fluently and articulated. He wrote about his vision he had for H-Rays to unify a toy drive that he had wanted me, he picked me to head. I was honored by that. And the whole community unified. We was the most together at that point in August of 1989. H-Rays caravan. We caravan and passed out tours to the Los Angeles Children's Hospital in honor of Master Kody's vision. and we all had come together to make that happen. But it was that seed that was planted back then when I was 16, 17 years old, to where I found myself in those same prison cells in the shoe. And I felt his spirit. And that's what made me write my book. That's what made me educate myself more. That's what made me see the vision. That's what made me let go of my hate. Because he taught me that. He planted that seed, and I just wanted to come back and do the same thing, but for my hood. I wanted to do the same thing right at St. Andrew's Park instead of the Children's Hospital. And I returned in 2016, and I received his letter in 2018 because he had heard of what I had been doing in St. Andrew's Park. And so that's what I want to hold on about Monster Kody. And that's why I continue to do what I do and stand on what it is, because he stood on the honor in which, you know, I was raised to stand on from prison. So, much respect, Monster Kody, and I will cherish these letters, man, until I see you again.